Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Trelawney man dies from car crash after hitting stray dog. A Trelawney man died as a result of injuries he sustained during a motor vehicle crash that started with the unit hitting a stray animal on a roadway in the parish on Saturday morning. The deceased has been identified as 36-year-old Michael Pinkew of Carey Park, Duncans in the parish. Reports are that about 6 p.m., Michael was driving a Toyota Primo motor car along the Bracco Main Road when he lost control of the vehicle after hitting a dog. The motor vehicle careened off the roadway and crashed into trees. Michael, who was the lone occupant in the vehicle, sustained multiple serious injuries and died on the spot. The Trelawney police are investigating the incident. Two held after ganja seizure in Spur Tree, Manchester. Detectives from the Police Narcotics Division seized approximately 669 pounds of compressed ganja in Spur Tree, Manchester on Saturday, May 1. Reports are that about 10:45 a.m., a narcotics team supported by members of the Manchester Police Division was on operations in Spur Tree area in the parish when they intercepted an international tipper truck with two men aboard. During a search of the vehicle, 30 knitted plastic bags, all containing compressed ganja, weighing approximately 669 pounds, were found. The drugs and the truck were seized and the driver and passenger were taken into custody. The drug has an estimated street value of $2.68 million. The names of the suspects are being withheld pending further investigations by the police. Man rescued days after being dumped in pit in Spanish Town. A 66-year-old man was rescued from an underground pit in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Sunday morning by a team of personnel from the St. Catherine Fire Department. The rescue came more than 2 days after the man was dumped in the pit by gunmen who reportedly abducted and robbed him. Reports are that about 9:30 on Thursday night, George Smart of Gregory Park, Portmore address in St. Catherine, drove his Nissan AD wagon motor car to Jones Avenue in Spanish Town to deliver a package, but was held up by two men armed with guns. He was abducted and robbed of an undetermined sum of cash and his motor car, and was taken to a section of the community where he was thrown into the underground pit and reportedly left under guard above the pit. About 7:30 on Sunday morning, the authorities were alerted to his presence in the pit, and firefighters and police personnel went to the location. Smart was removed from the pit at about 9:30 a.m. and was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital for treatment. Jamaican imprisoned in Bahamas for fake immigration stamp. A Jamaican man has been sent to prison for 6 months in Bahamas after he confessed to paying another man for a fake immigration stamp in his passport in a bid to extend his stay in that country. Orlando Brown, a 28-year-old resident of Clarendon in Jamaica, pleaded guilty to overstaying and being in possession of a forged immediately stamp. He appeared in a magistrate court in Bahamas last week. In addition to being sentenced to 6 months in prison for possessing the fake immigration stamp, the Jamaican was also fined BSD $1,000 with an alternative of 3 months in jail for overstaying his time in the country. According to the Bahamian Tribune newspaper, on April 21st, a team of immigration officers attached to the residential spouse unit went to Brown's residence off Shirley Street in New Providence. An inspection was done by the officers, who later determined that all was well at the premises. But Brown's vehicle woes began when one of the officers asked him for his passport. The altered immigration stamp was subsequently found affixed to one of the pages of the booklet. When initially questioned about the stamp, the Jamaican claimed he got the stamp at the airport. Consequently, Brown, who claimed he was married to a Bahamian woman, was transported to a detention center for an interview. It was during the interview that he confessed that the stamp did not come from an official at the airport. Instead, he explained that in March 2019, he paid another Jamaican man BSD $150 to get him the stamp. The court heard Brown left the country since that time and returned in January 2020, when he was given permission to stay for 1 month, the newspaper reported. At his court hearing, Brown declined to comment on the allegations against him. He was subsequently sentenced after his guilty pleas. Fisherman dies following shark attack in Westmoreland. A fisherman has died following a shark attack at sea on Saturday in Westmoreland. He has been identified as 53-year-old Donovan Haywood, otherwise called Doggy, who lived at Darling Street in Savannah Lamar in the parish. It is reported that shortly after 8 a.m., Haywood and a group of other fishermen set out from the community of Russia in Savannah Lamar to go spearfishing off the shores of Little Bay in Little London. While underwater, Haywood was attacked by a large shark which ripped off his left arm and inflicted several bite wounds to his upper body. It took his colleagues more than half an hour to free him from the clutches of the shark's mouth after shooting it. The shark swam away with Haywood's arm. He was taken ashore and rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Residents in Savannah Lamar reported that the ordeal is the first such incident to occur in their community. 3 cops to be charged following fatal shooting in Kingston 11. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, has ruled that 3 Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF officers be charged for a breach of Section 33B2 of the Independent Commission of Investigation Act 2010. The 3 officers are Corporal Don James, Constable Roger Gordon, and Constable David Grant. A release from Indicom on September 8, 2020, Indicom commenced an investigation into the fatal shooting of Martin Brown along Gretna Green Avenue, Kingston 11. In furtherance of the investigations, the 3 concerned officers were served Section 21 notices pursuant to the Indicom Act to furnish a statement and attend the offices of the Commission to answer questions in relation to the incident. The officers failed to attend to be interviewed on September 15, 2020 and have provided no reasonable excuse or justification for the non-compliance with the notice. The first court date for the 3 officers, Corporal James, Constable Gordon, and Constable Grant, is being finalized. 5 more COVID deaths recorded, 90 new cases in 24 hours. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has recorded 5 more COVID-19 related deaths locally, including 2 that were previously under investigation within a 24-hour period up to Saturday afternoon. During the one-day period, 90 new cases were recorded. The deceased are a 95-year-old female from Trelawney, a 93-year-old female from St. Catherine, an 83-year-old female from St. Catherine, a 95-year-old female from Westmoreland, whose death was previously under investigation, and an 83-year-old female from St. Thomas, whose death was previously under investigation. The latest recorded COVID-19 deaths brought the overall number of fatalities locally from the virus to 784. The ministry, in advising of the 90 new cases of the virus over the 24-hour period, said the batch brought the total number of confirmed positive cases nationally to 45,004. The new cases include 51 females and 39 males. The ages among the new cases range from 2 days to 95 years. Kingston and St. Andrew with 18 cases, St. Mary with 12, and St. Catherine with 10 led the way among the parishes in terms of the new case count. Over the 24-hour period, a total of 1,205 samples were tested, the ministry reported, and recoveries have increased, with 140 cases being recorded over the one-day period. The ministry also reported that of 213 persons now hospitalized with the virus, 14 are classified as being moderately ill, while 22 are classified as being critically ill. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.